What's going on, guys? Welcome to Everything Always. My name's Michael Roman. Now, in a continuation of the video we did yesterday that I'll make sure to link at the end of this, that being part 1, in part 2 we're going to continue through the remainder of the entirety of leaks, rumors, and speculation compiled over the last year and a half for Falcon and the Winter Soldier. As we did in yesterday's video, I'll make sure to issue the normal spoiler warning, read through them word for word, let you know what part of the year they came out in, and contextualize them where I can for the upcoming Falcon and the Winter Soldier. Man, there is a lot left to get through, including villains, the narratives, and the setup for the future of the MCU. We're going to break down everything Falcon and the Winter Soldier, but first, if you could grab the subscribe button, we're still giving away a PlayStation 5 at 800,000 subscribers, as well as Disney Plus subscriptions every Friday while the shows are live. If you want to be entered to win, all you have to do, hit the subscribe button, then leave a comment down below, and if you want, stick around to the end of the video. We'll get into all the giveaway stuff again there. Now, first up, and as always the case when we do these videos, as I'm sure a lot of you have become accustomed to over the last couple of weeks, spoiler warning, and it works twofold. Remember to take anything that doesn't come directly from Marvel Studios, whether it's anonymous 4chan plot leak or even a trusted industry insider, take it all with a grain of salt. However, and as was the case with WandaVision, amongst the sea of fake leaks and from anonymous posts as well, we get real leaks and descriptions all the time. So if this is in any way going to sort of ruin the future of the Falcon and the Winter Soldier, Marvel Phase 4, or any of the contingent properties for you, only you know if you're susceptible to this kind of thing, which raises the question as to why you clicked on this video in the first place. Either way, I ain't mad at you, but you might want to just hold out for the next week and then maybe come back and see us. I'll still be here. Now, this is jumping in and starting where we left off in yesterday's video. Again, that'll be linked at the end of this. This leak comes from just last month, February 10th, 2021. It starts by saying everything in the trailers is from the first episode except Madripoor and the shot of Zemo with the mask in his hand, which is from the last episode, possibly leading into the Thunderbolts, ? Therapy sessions are a bookend for the show. Every episode's start is intercut with them. Ross is watching, Ross being Thunderbolt Ross, who we assumed would return, and a lot of us are hoping will eventually turn into the Red Hulk. Whether it happens in this show or not, a different question. Flag Smasher is not a major character, just a side character used by Zemo as a distraction. For the record, it also looks like Flag Smasher from the comics, whose one person or entity is actually going to be a group of people. Show in general follows a villain of the week format, with the exception of Zemo, who is built across the 6 episodes. Sounds a lot more like the Mandalorian way of telling it. It's sort of stories in each episode instead of one long one like WandaVision. Steve does not die. There is a funeral, but it's for General Ross. He's not really dead, he's going underground. Now, I assumed there actually would be some tie-in from Black Widow into Falcon and the Winter Soldier, even though they are set in very different times. Remember, Black Widow is set back in the Infinity Saga. This is set after the snap and the blip. I just thought there'd be some more interconnectiveness, but after WandaVision and the rumors that Kevin Feige really wants the shows not to impact how viewers who just see the cinematic films will view the films, meaning he doesn't want those viewers to be lost that don't have Disney Plus, I'm not sure there will be setup for that, but I think this is a perfect time to mention that from the comics, both Baron Zemo and Thunderbolt Ross started their own iterations of the Thunderbolts. It's not just synchronicity that they both happen to be in the show in the same proximity, that there happens to be a void for superheroes. I suspect, Black Widow setup or not, eventually we're going to see some sort of setup for the Thunderbolts. John Walker is not a full-on villain. He genuinely wants to do what's best for the country, but he follows orders to a fault and has crippling PTSD. Race is a heavy theme in the show. Sam isn't allowed the shield because of the Sokovia Accords, but the real reason is because he's black. When Walker goes off the reservation and beats Eli Bradley in front of the cameras, the government tries to give Sam the shield for good PR. It really doesn't set up Armor Wars at all, although we have heard that Don Cheadle will be making an appearance as James Rhodes. Omega Red and Batroc the Leaper are indeed in the show. They're the villains of episode 3, which is the Madripoor episode. Omega Red is pretty nerfed for the MCU, but there's a canon reason the word mutant is never used. We talked about Omega Red in yesterday's video, again, that'll be linked at the end of this. Songbird does not appear, neither do the Inhumans in any capacity. Sam ends up begrudgingly accepting the role as Captain America, but that's because he does it for himself. Interesting. Bucky and Sharon end up together. That's something we heard from other leaks as well. Ross is trying to recreate the super soldier serum again, which leads to him becoming Red Hulk. The last scene is an intelligent Red Hulk approaching Zemo after Zemo has been microchipped with a bomb in his neck to recruit him for Thunderbolts. Gee, it's almost as if I saw this coming. And of course, guys, there is no reason you would keep William Hurt's Thunderbolt Ross along in every single important Avengers movie. Shoot, he might have had more lines than Falcon in Infinity War in that scene between him and James Rhodes, not to finally pay this off. And I know, as a fan base, after some of the disappointment for WandaVision, we have to sort of curb our enthusiasm. However, as Marvel and comic fans, it's okay to get excited about this stuff, and it is okay to want this. I know in the prologue I said take it with a grain of salt, which we all should, but that doesn't mean that at some point I don't want to see the Thunderbolts and Red Hulk. And again, they've kept him around this entire time. You've got to think it's eventually to pay this off. Episode 1 details aftermath of Endgame. Sam relinquishes the shield to the government, and John Walker, Flag Smashers are trying to steal a bioweapon. With Sharon's help, they stop them. Episode 3, captured Zemo leads them to Madripoor. They shake Walker in the streets. Batroc and Omega Red attack them in a bar. Zemo escapes on a speedboat, makes a public broadcast. Episode 4, Zemo followers rise up in the streets, which leads to vigilantism. Patriot is the main focus. Him and Walker take on a gang together, but he intervenes to stop Walker from killing them, and Walker brutalizes him. This was Zemo's plan. Sam meets with Rhodey to discuss being a black superhero. Episode 6, Sam, Bucky, Sharon, Walker, and Patriot suit up together to take on Zemo in his Alaskan shipping boat base where he plans to launch his bioweapon from. Now, there are some common threads through a lot of these leaks. Walker actually wanting to do right on the part of the country, but just not having it all together. The fact that Don Cheadle is going to show up as Rhodey. Bucky having a relationship with Sharon, and of course, what happens with Sam as he sort of rises up to take the mantle of Captain America rather than it being given to him. And I think we'd be warranted in asserting that a lot of these could easily be true without being huge spoilers. I do suspect, based on what some industry insiders have said, for there to be a lot more in the way of Easter eggs and connectiveness to the MCU, the way that we thought we would get out of WandaVision. In retrospect, I think that was silly because WandaVision was truly an insular story. I mean, they were locked inside the Hex, which doesn't get more insulated than that. This is going to be much of a different story, traveling to many locations in the MCU. Definitely not the sort of story we got in WandaVision. So I think the setup will be real, Easter eggs aside. No, I don't assume we're going to see Wolverine, but a lot of leaks have now said Omega Red, which is going to make Marvel fans super excited. Can't wait to see what their explainer for that is. I also can't wait to see GSP in his reprisal of the role of Batroc the Leaper. Guys, let me know all your thoughts down below in reaction to part 1 and part 2. We actually have enough leaks and speculation. We'll be running a part 3 tomorrow. But either way, and in the meantime, I want to know all your crazy theories for who's going to show up and what's going to happen in the Falcon and the Winter Soldier. As always, I'm all ears, and quickly, let's get into the giveaway stuff before I let you go. We're still giving away a PlayStation 5 at 800,000 subscribers, which we are about to ding and should easily ding by the end of next week. We're also giving away new subscriptions to Disney Plus every Friday while the shows are live. If you want to be entered to win, all you have to do, hit that subscribe button, then leave a comment down below. Because it's truly random, the more videos you comment on, the better chance you have of winning. All winners will be announced at the end of videos and end segments the same way we're doing here. The best way to keep up with the content here at the channel is to hit that notification bell with notifications turned on. And obviously, if you enjoyed today's video or the rest of the content at the channel, I'd appreciate it if you hit the like button. My name is Michael Roman. You can find me over on Twitter and Instagram at IamFires. You can also find me with original music on Spotify and all other musical platforms under the name Allfires. Thanks for checking out the channel, guys, and stick around. We'll be posting again real soon.